Now I don't know who this Nezuko Kamado lady is. She looks like an anime character, so what? She's like a 9-year-old girl that slays demons? Aren't we all? Anyway, I clearly didn't buy the case for Nezuko-chan. I bought it because it's covered in pink and it's made by Asus and it looks interesting. So let's build in it. But first, today's video sponsor. You ever look at the original Deepcool AK620 and think, that looks like a great cooler, except I'm an SR71 and it's not nearly matte black enough for me. Enter the AK620 Zero Dark. With its 6 heat pipes and dual 120mm fans, it gives you all of the quiet performance of the original AK620, now just in matte black. If this looks good to you, check out the Deepcool AK620 Zero Dark Edition using the link in the description below. Wait, I just noticed, does she have a horse bit in her mouth? That's a bit dodgy. Now it is a beautifully designed box. Hopefully, they put as much effort into the case. I guess we'll find out soon. Now I'm assuming GT301 is the case that the Nezuko-chan is based on. Now according to the box, it is airflow optimized and it's a compact ATX case with 4mm thick smoked and tempered glass side panels. Very exciting stuff. Let's open it up and have a closer look. It's quite well packaged, as you'd hope, considering that the case cost quite a lot of money. Ooh, we've got some pink kanji adorning the booty of the case. Now just by looking at the bottom of the case, the build quality does not seem nearly up to scratch considering the asking price, which makes me think Nezuko-chan demands quite the premium. That looks like reasonable front ventilation. According to the box, the pattern relates to the anime somehow, but the most important thing is that it's pink, which adds at least 15% to the airflow. We also have this horse mouth bit thing on the front. I wonder... No, that does not feel like it's meant to be a handle. Okay, now in terms of front I/O, we have what looks like 2 USB 2.0 ports, but I can't imagine they're not 3.0. And then we have a reasonable power button. I think this half popped out bit of plastic covers mounting for a headphone hanger, which we'll see in a bit. And on the top we have a very expensively branded dust filter. Now what does help make the crazy cost pill easier to swallow is that we do get 4 RGB fans included with the case. Actually, let's have a quick look inside. Reasonable side panel mounting. Now that we've got the side off, it just looks like a small budget modern case. In terms of build quality, like if you just kind of touch everything and it feels like a $70 US case, maybe. Actually, on that note, let me go check what I paid for it. Holy crap. I paid 240 Canadian dollars for Nezuko-chan, which is pretty crazy considering that the case that it's based on costs 120 Canadian dollars. That is on sale, but I feel like that's more in line with a reasonable price for that case. So you're paying double a high-ish asking price for some Demon Slayer. That seems very reasonable. Clearly, Nezuko-chan is excellent at negotiating royalty fees, and with that, it's finally time to build a system in this case. Now in terms of space for rear cable management, there actually isn't that much, but it should be fine for what we're doing. There's also an RGB hub for the 4 pretty basic RGB fans, so that's nice. Power supply wise, I'm gonna use this C1000 that NZXT sent over. Oh, even this relatively small 1000-watt power supply really is a stretch to get in here. I'm actually using the system from the previous video with the Ryzen 5 7600X in it. That's being cooled by a Deepcool AK620 Black. In terms of storage, we're using a 2TB Patriot Viper NVMe drive in the X670 Aorus Elite motherboard, which was the cheapest motherboard I could find for the 7600X at the time. At least for that price, you are getting a nice healthy rear I/O. Finally, in terms of RAM, we're using 32 gigs of DDR5 DOM plats sent over by Corsair in the Elton John spec. Anyway, with that, let's drop the Core system into the Nezco-chan and hope that that case passes the Dawid CPU power hand fitting in test. Okay, this is already not going well. We've got stuff stuck on cables and things already. Oh, there we go. Oh, this case actually doesn't have that pilot standoff in the middle where it kind of helps guide the motherboard into place. That CPU cooler is cutting it real fine in the little Nezco-chan. I don't actually know if it's gonna close. Let's quickly try it out. I do think the side panel is physically touching the cooler, but it's good. It fits in. It's fine. And now comes the most difficult challenge any case can face. Can Dawid plug the CPU power in with a massive cooler installed test. I think it's in. No. So close, come on. There we go. That actually wasn't that bad. I didn't shout even once. And as I started the cable management, I realized I made a bit of a boo-boo. I didn't plug SATA power in. Which meant I had to remove the power supply to plug in some SATA power. And while I was down there, I decided to also remove the hard drive cage to give me some reasonable cable shoving room. Other than that, cable managing the system went fine. Okay, I guess it's looking fine in here. Now all we need is a graphics card. And I know just the card to get. I'm gonna use my waifu card, because why wouldn't you put your waifu in another waifu? Oh, it's a tight fit. I'm using some ratty sleeved cable extensions I found lying around. Only the best for my waifu card. I guess it means I've also got to change out the 24 pin. Finally time to power on the pink madness and see what it looks like. Ooh. But immediately there was a problem. I think my waifu cards died. That's tragic. Like, it's lighting up and stuff, but I'm not getting a video out. I then tested it in another system, where it worked. Okay, well that's exciting. At least that means the waifu card's not dead. That's great news. Which helped me figure out the problem. Do you know what? I kind of think it's these ratty power extensions. So I'm gonna take them out and have a look. Yes! It's still working. That's very, very relieved. Now, let's just have a closer look at the finished build and then see how it runs. Wow, this system is running the crap out of Battlefield 5. With 1080p Ultra settings, we are getting close to 200 frames per second on this system. Yeah, it's a smooth, nice gaming experience. The system is quite loud though. Noise has definitely always been an issue with this waifu card. But yeah, this is a crazy good gaming experience. Oh, I actually forgot to mention, the waifu card is an RX 5700 XT. For those of you that didn't know. Okay, even Cyberpunk at 1080p high settings is giving us over 60 frames per second. Temperature-wise, the 7600X is sitting in the mid to high 70s, which isn't great considering the cooler, but at least it's not 95 degrees Celsius. With that, what did we learn in today's video? Well, if there are cat teeth marks in some cable extensions you found in a random bin in your office, you probably shouldn't use them. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and maybe watch another one. A suggestion will pop up in a second. And until the next video, bye-bye.